Hello and welcome to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. I appreciate you being here where sports meets that thing called life, and welcome to another week of bringing you awesome shows, awesome people. Got a lot of great things coming up, a lot of great news to talk about. But before we go there, we have to go here on this Monday morning. So last night, some things went down in my city, our city, and I'm at a loss, especially having family and friends that are in law enforcement, good people, hardworking people. It's sad that I have to say that, since the media has depicted police officers as monsters. Not all media, but enough media to make it that if you back the blue, that it means things about you that aren't true. So, last night, a police officer and a sheriff's deputy were killed in Syracuse. I'm going to give you some information. They confronted a driver who had failed to stop in upstate New York yesterday. The unidentified suspect was also killed in the shootout outside of his home. Syracuse Police Department said in a statement that the officers spotted a quote-unquote suspicious vehicle shortly after 7 p.m. last night between Emerson Avenue and Hamilton Street on the west side of the city. Police tried to stop the car, but the driver, quote, refused to stop and fled the area, end quote, the statement said. The officers tracked the license plate to a home in Liverpool in Onondaga County, and police asked for assistance after receiving information that the suspect might be armed. The statement went on to say, quote, shortly after arrival, the police officers and sheriff's deputies were encountered by an armed male and an engage of gunfire followed, end quote. Now, I'm going to read you the statement that we have in full here. So, I want to make sure I get you the full statement. It says, on Sunday, April 14th, 2024, at about 7:07 p.m., Syracuse police officers encountered a suspicious vehicle in the area of Emerson Avenue and Hamilton Street. Police officers attempted to stop the vehicle. However, the driver refused to stop and fled the area. The officers lost sight of the vehicle, but were able to record the license plate information. Officers checked the vehicle registration and determined the registered owner resides on Darien Drive in Liverpool, New York. Syracuse police responded to the address, along with members of the Onondaga County Sheriff's Office. The vehicle was found to be parked at a residence on Darien Drive. Shortly after arrival, the police officers and sheriff's deputies were encountered by an armed male, and an exchange of gunfire followed. One Syracuse police officer and one Onondaga County Sheriff's deputy were struck by gunfire. The armed suspect was also shot. Both law enforcement officers were transported to Upstate University Hospital, where life-saving measures were conducted. The Syracuse police officer and the Onondaga County Sheriff's deputy succumbed to their injuries. The suspect was also transported to University Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. That is what the statement reads. Syracuse Police Chief Joe Cecil said, quote, "We lost 2 heroes tonight, men who answered the call of duty, put on the badge to protect the community," end quote. The police officer, now they didn't release the names in this, it said the police officer that was killed was young and had been on the job for 3 years. Sheriff Tobias Shelley said the deceased deputy was experienced, well-liked, and, quote-unquote, just a great guy. Syracuse Mayor Ben Walsh said, "It's a dark day for Syracuse. This is our worst nightmare come true. Our thoughts right now are with the families of those 2 officers, those heroes. If anyone knows the family of a police officer, give them a hug. This is their worst nightmare." So, I have a couple words that I want to say, and I'm going to bring Murph on, as Murph is with us here on Mondays for DT and Murphy. And we have some things we're going to talk about today. I am holding back my emotion to the best of my ability, because I have a friend who is on the force in Syracuse, who's been on the force for just a few years. So when I read that the police officer that was shot and killed has been on the force for 3 years, that hits very different for me. And in today's America, because of a few actions from a few people, there has been a blanket attack of law enforcement on law enforcement against law enforcement because of some knuckleheads. Now, is there ever a good time to have a bad cop? No. Is there ever a good time to have a bad teacher? No. And there's plenty of them. Is there a bad time to have is there a good time to have a bad pilot? No. So do I condone racism, prejudice, sexism? No. Do I have stories of friends that were treated inappropriately or wrongly by law enforcement? Yeah. I was. But it never made me lose respect for the profession and the protection and the service. It made me lose respect for that man. A man that I don't think should ever wear a badge again. But it never made me lose respect for the job itself. There's a lot of crappy people in the media, but I would hope that it wouldn't make me lose respect from people because of the people that lie to you every single day and steal. We have to stop in society taking somebody and making it everybody. And I'm really getting sick and tired of people saying you either back this color or you back that color, you back the blue or you don't. If you want a world without police officers and sheriff's deputies and SWAT teams and so on and so forth, and the U.S. military, then you want a chaotic world where you might as well have the Joker. You might as well have Kingpin. You might as well have all of those stories that are so fantastical that could never happen. Because if you want Gotham City, that's what you get when there are no good cops, when there are no law enforcement. And I have these conversations with people because I hurt for today's society. But when this happens in my city, minutes from people I love, within range of hearing gunfire, on streets that I drove by yesterday potentially, and my parents drove by. This might be normal for some places. And for those places, I pray. And I'm not saying because it hit home, it bothers me now. It's bothered me completely. But I am not going to sit here and disrespect law enforcement, and I am not going to shame law enforcement. When I was a kid, my father had a picture of the badge of one of his friends that was a police officer that was shot and killed in the line of duty, and the black line over the badge. He framed that, and it was in his office, and it was one of, it might have been the only picture hung on the wall. And to those that think you need to, that it's racist and it's this and it's that, the cop that passed away when I was a kid back in the 90s was a black male. That's the one that was on the wall with my dad. So I didn't grow up knowing black versus blue, color versus this, cops versus everybody. I didn't grow up that way. I grew up that we respect law enforcement and law enforcement respects us. And I know some people watching and listening, maybe you didn't have that experience. But there is never a time in my life where I have wanted to lose the protection of those that care. These people put their lives on the line every single day. They could go to work. I thought about this. You can go to work every single day thinking nothing. Every day, same beat, same streets. But that one day, and that was yesterday. That was yesterday. And there's no more days now for those two people and those families. It's not the same anymore. That one beat, that one traffic stop, that one moment. And that was it. And my mom and I last weekend, we went to church down in Florida. You know who's in that church now? Cops. Sitting in Orlando. Cops. Guns. Vests. Ready. At a church. Walking around watching people while we pray. And my mom looked at me and she said, "That's sick. Look at this." So I got a lot of things on my mind today. And I appreciate Murph for being on screen and letting me talk. I cannot imagine a world without people willing to put their lives on the line. The world would be over. It would be done. And if you are ignorant enough to think that all police officers and sheriff's deputies and SWAT and military are bad, I really hope you educate yourself. These people get paid peanuts to put their lives on the line every day. Every single day. And they don't make anywhere near the athletes we talk about. Just stupid money. $45 million to Burp. And these people are taking home $40,000 standing in front of a gunman. And these people know how to shoot. Somebody's teaching them. I don't know. I don't even want to look, but there's probably something on YouTube. This is how you shoot a cop. This is how you shoot under the vest. Because they're shooting them in the right spots. So this morning, with everything that I have on my mind and everything I want to say, I'm going to ask for one thing. I'm going to ask that we pray. I want Murph to give his thoughts. I'm going to ask that we pray right now, and then I'm going to send it to him. If you believe in God, awesome. If you don't, that's your choice. I'm going to pray. This is my show. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. God, I ask you today to look upon the families of those that have passed away. I ask you to help them at a time where it is impossible to think straight, to give them some peace. I ask you to take those that passed away in your arms, welcome them back home, and honor them as your children. However they were honored or not honored on this earth, I pray that they are honored in heaven. I ask you to help everyone who puts on a badge every day and everybody who protects people every day, people they don't know. I ask you to weed out all the bad. I ask you to release us of all the questionable and to leave us with only the good in a job where you have to be good. And I pray that you will protect them with every fiber of your being, and that you will help more people be cops and be sheriff's deputies and be in the military, because it's moments like this on top of everything else that is potentially taking people out of profession, including one of my friends that stopped being a cop in New York City because he just didn't want it for his family anymore. So I pray that we will not lose our protection. I pray that one day we will not need this protection, and that your healing hand and love will support and help us all. In Jesus' most precious name, I pray that there are better days ahead, and that no matter what lies and what violence and what negativity comes, there is nothing that the devil can send us that you cannot block, that you will not block, and that you will not help us get through. I pray for your power and your love and your might to be shown today and every single day. In your name, Jesus. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Murph, I want to give you time to have your thoughts.
Yeah. This is it's a topic that hits home for me a little bit with the amount of family members that I have in law enforcement or who were in law enforcement. My cousin Danny, whose wedding that I am going to in France in just a few weeks, is an NYPD cop, has been for quite some time. And anytime I hear about cops getting shot, it makes me think of him. And like what, and obviously you as, especially if it's a close family member, because I'm still, we're close. You hear those words, especially if it's in your neighborhood, because you talked about how your friend has only a couple of years on the job, and you know, it could have very easily been him,
Yeah.
right? But as much as you pray for those families, I'm sure you thank God it's not him. Just like anytime I hear an NYPD cop getting killed, I thank God that it's not Danny. And it might sound horrible, but you know, you're grateful that your loved one is still with us, still protecting and serving the community that they grew up in and that they love. And ever since realistically, it was ever since 2020 with the George Floyd when he was killed by Derek Chauvin in Minneapolis. We all know that particular cop deserved to go to prison. That one was completely egregious. Nobody for a second is defending him.
Yeah.
George Floyd did not deserve to die. Right? But ever since that happened, because everybody can agree that George Floyd did not deserve to die.
Yeah.
He might have been a, absolute scumbag, but he did not deserve to die for what he did. That one particular cop set off a chain reaction of the public against the cops.
Yeah.
The whole ACAB, all cops are bad, or dare I say the Black Lives Matter movement, was because a white cop who was a bad person killed a black man who did not deserve to die.
Yeah.
That's how it started. Right? And you feel for the families, obviously, but it's happening far too much. Right? Now, this is long before it, but I remember when I was a kid, and it was a national story too. There was a guy who I believe had been I don't know if he was ex-military, but he was like a damn good shot.
Yeah.
He stood outside across the street of police barracks in, oh crap, where were they? It was somewhere a little bit north of here. Blooming Grove, Pennsylvania. Now I remember. And shot and killed 2 cops walking right outside the police station. All they did was walk out of the police station and they were shot and killed. For what? And this guy was on the loose. He was hunted for over a month. They finally captured him at an old abandoned airport hangar or airplane hangar 6 miles from my house. Something like that. I want to get the facts right though here before I mention this, but he killed those 2 police officers. I'm sorry, he killed one of them and the other one was seriously injured. Like I said, I want to try to get the facts right. Now, justice was served. He was given the death penalty. Is still on death row awaiting execution. I do firmly believe, and this is somewhat, counterintuitive, but I do firmly believe that if you do something like that, you do deserve to die. That guy, Eric Freen, does deserve to die. He's gonna wait on death row for 15 years, but he does. Back in the days of Jesus, it was an eye for an eye, right? You stole something, they'd cut off your hand. That's what they did back in the first century. But ever since that, the whole events in June of 2020, the riots afterwards, and the discrimination towards cops, it's just sickening. And I can't stand when people just on a routine traffic stop, guy just pulls out a gun and shoots the cop for no reason, just because he's a cop. People will kill cops just because they're cops. Yeah. They don't look at the human being. They look at the badge. And they think all cops are bad, so they're going to kill one. Or 2 in this case. Completely unacceptable. I just get hot even talking about it. So I think we need to move on to something a little bit more happy. But prayers to the families of the fallen officers. I hope the guy that did this. Obviously, Jesus forgives everybody, but I hope he burns in hell, and I hope that the 2 fallen officers are greeted at the gates of heaven by our Lord and Savior.
Yeah, I really, again, I'm not okay with this ever. I don't understand it. I understand what's happening. I had this conversation last night about what's happening, and I've been a redheaded stepchild of the media since I started my career. Not because I was ever mean to anybody, but because I worked hard. So that should tell you something. And I'm here this morning to say another thing that has to be said, and that is to anybody in the media, whatever outlet, reading, watching, speaking, wherever you are, however you've gotten started, whenever you've gotten started, how long you've been in it, to those wanting to be in it, to those who got out of it, heed my call. Do not lie to people anymore. Do not sensationalize. I know you get clicks. And you probably get more than me for lying to people and for pushing people to do things. I've jokingly said on the show, but I fully mean it because I think it would happen. If they said you wouldn't get COVID anymore if you bought a chicken suit, if the media told you that, chicken suits would sell out on Amazon and eBay.
100%.
And what I want you to fully understand, those of you that are not in the media, is that we have an incredible power. And I have a superhero I've loved all my life. And I will never forget the words of Uncle Ben Parker when he said to Peter Parker, with great power comes great responsibility. Every day that I turn this microphone on, I have the opportunity to affect somebody's life. And I know enough media people who use the microphone to do things that if they ever succeeded, this world would be on fire. Sometimes it is. Last night it was. So I do not want this to be a black versus blue thing. That is a disrespect to the fallen cop that hung on my dad's wall my whole childhood and followed him to every office. Today is a day where the media has to stand and we have to say what is wrong. I never thought I'd live in a world where cops would be targets. I never thought I'd live in a world that asked for anarchy, that asked to defund and break apart your protection. Do you want a house without a security system? Do you want a house without a fence? Who's going to protect you? And I know there's a lot of angles that people can take in a world that's become gray. But 2 cops died last night. 2 officers died last night because they tried to stop a vehicle of a stranger who knew exactly what he was doing. And that sick dude, hey, I don't hate anybody. I don't wish bad on anybody. I hope he met God and I hope he repented. I really do. Because the devil don't need any more souls. The devil's got enough. So I don't wish bad. I do pray though that cops, this is the other thing that I can't shake. I don't want a cop or a sheriff or a deputy to put a badge down today and say, enough, I'm done. I can't anymore. Because if enough people do that, then media, you got what you wanted. Rich people, you got hell on earth, baby. And you got bunkers. We don't. I don't want this anymore. I didn't want this in the first place. So to my media people, again, heed my call. We have a responsibility to tell the truth. We have a responsibility of knowing that we can sway people in directions. We have a responsibility every single day to protect the way that we know how to serve the way that we know how to. You don't have to be a cop to protect and serve. I protect and serve my city every day by the things I do that you know and the things that I do that you don't know. I don't want a cop to have to sit in my church. I don't want a cop to put their badge down today. So, there's been things that have happened recently in New York City where a cop was killed. And guess what? There were some people that tried to go to that funeral that had publicly wanted to defund the police. Publicly have not been nice. And you know what those people said at the funeral? You can't come in here for a photo op. You can't come in here and be by this body and pretend like you care about us. And I applaud those people. And I hope we do the same thing in Syracuse. because the world needs to understand that there are repercussions for your actions. We need to understand that there is a cause and effect. So media, tell the truth. I know it's going to be weird for some of you, but do it. Stop sensationalizing. Stop wanting a story. And remember, there's people's lives involved. To all the officers and all the people that protect us, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Treat people the same. Treat people equally. You should know this, but I'm going to tell you again. Don't look at color. Don't look at background. Don't look at anything. Just look at the fact that you're here to protect and serve. Thank you to those that do it right. To those that do it wrong, I hope you stop doing it. And I hope that you find God. And I hope you find God faster than anything. To the criminals out there, I hope that you don't feel safe doing the things you're doing. I hope that you don't feel like this world is going to protect you. Because we were not here to protect criminals, and we are not here to protect killers. We are here to find you, and we are here to put you behind bars to prevent you from doing it to somebody else. And I pray that your soul is saved. I pray that you find God, and I pray that you stop. I pray for every victim, and I pray for every perpetrator, because if you don't pray for the perpetrators, there's just more victims. So I pray for everybody today. I ask the media to do their job. I ask those that protect us to not stop. And I ask you to seek your heart and seek the places where you could be doing things wrong. And if you are, I pray that you fix it. I don't want to hear anything today other than love and support for these families and these police officers. I don't want to hear that this man had thought and this man had... No, I don't care. I don't care. You shot and you killed people that protect us. I don't care what your thoughts are. And I don't want to hear about it. So today, it is very cut and dry. My city. My city. People say, why'd you come back to Syracuse? You were living in Florida. Why would you come back to Syracuse? Because if you know me, look in my eyes. This is my home. I could never turn my back on my home. And I didn't when I left. And Florida is still a second home. But I love my city, and I love my people. And I said last week, in the city of Syracuse, I said, I might run for mayor someday because I'm done with this crap. Ask me how I feel this morning. So I pray for y'all. I send you my love. I know right now it is... I don't ever want to hear this again. I don't ever want to see this again. And if there is a single person in the media that uses this as a way to tell a story and find an angle and use it for clicks and likes and to spread an agenda, I hope you quit your job today. Because we don't need you affecting the minds and souls and hearts of good people. We deserve better media. We deserve better actions and words in society. And a cop should never have to feel fear for their lives. Their job is to protect your fear, not to be afraid themselves. Their job is to be there for us. And we need to be there for them. Right now. Always. Because I've lived 38 years and I know a lot of people in enforcement and none of them are bad people. And I wouldn't be friends with the bad ones. And I wouldn't sit idly by with the bad ones. And I can tell you a bad one in New Jersey. And I hope that he's not a cop anymore. Because the way that he treated me and my girlfriend, that man should be behind bars. That man should not be doing anything in society to protect anything. But that was one man. One. And one man yesterday took 2 lives. So if we're going to make everything about one man, well, then I could turn around and tell you that every civilian's a bad person because of that one man. Is that true? No, that sounds insane. Exactly. Cops are not bad people. And they should never, ever fear for their lives. How dare us take the life of somebody who would give theirs for us. How dare us? How dare us? This is a shameful day. And we have to do better. I'll take a step aside for a fast break. Murph and I will be back, and we will talk about the Masters. And I appreciate y'all for giving me some time this morning. My heart goes out to everybody that needs it. I love y'all.
Hi, this is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating at 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday in-store and always online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond, order anywhere, anytime at maandpaspopcorn.com. Stop in to get a tin at Ma and Pa's on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York to get your half-price refills for the rest of your life. Come to Ma and Pa's for your holiday gift giving for family, friends, employees, and clients. And remember, for fundraising and events, to call 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. He kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. We appreciate you being here with us every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Murph and I are here, as we always are on Mondays, to bring you into your week. And we have a lot of stuff to talk about. You see the logos on the screen, and we're going to go in that order. The Masters, Major League Baseball, and the NFL, including some of our thoughts on the sports card world. So, Murph, I will defer to you, as Murph is all about the Masters, all about this golf world, all about hopping into what it looks like. And my dad, my entrance into the Masters this time around was my dad going, well, Tiger must not be doing good because we're not hearing about him. And so he was even at the time. And
that would be an understatement.
Yeah, so that was on Friday. And so, yeah, we were talking about that. And I was watching Phil Mickelson actually that day. So there's certain names that kind of just stick with you forever that you always look for. And that's how I was as a kid. I was always looking for Davis Love the third. I didn't care where he was. Was he 20th? Was he third? Was he first? I was always looking for Davis Love. and you know, and obviously Tiger was at the top most of the time, so it was easy to look for him. But yeah, I mean the Masters going on right now. It's hard to believe that, like, I feel like we talked about it last year and like boom, it's here. But let's jump into it. Where would you like to go on it?
Well, it's hard not to talk about the champion. You know, Scotty Scheffler is absolutely dominating golf right now.
Yeah.
This is in his last four starts. The reason I bring up the last four starts, at the Arnold Palmer Invitational at Bay Hill, he debuted a new putter. Now, Scotty Scheffler has always been known for having issues on the greens with this putter. He is leading the tour in strokes gained in nearly every category except putting. Putting, he is like 115. Since he put that new putter in the bag, now he gotten the recommendation from Rory to change to a mallet. And he'd been using a Scotty Cameron Newport 2 for quite some time. He decides to put the Spider, TaylorMade Spider putter in the bag. And in his last four starts, including yesterday, including the Masters, Arnold Palmer Invitational, win. The Players Championship, win. Texas Children's Houston Open, tied second. The Masters, win. He's won 3 out of 4 since he put the new putter in. And it's only 4 tournaments. We've said all along that if that guy could putt, and he doesn't have to be good, he just needs to be average.
Yeah.
If he could just be tour average at putting, he is going to dominate golf in a Tiger-esque fashion. Safe to say, he did that. And he didn't have his best ball striking day yesterday. That's the crazy part. He put himself in trouble at times. Right? He made the bogey at 11 because he hit a poor second shot and had to try and get up and down to an impossible pin location. But what happened was, and we saw this all week, at least leading up to Sunday, the weather was a major, major factor. They started 2.5 hours late on Thursday. Kicked it off with the honorary starters, Jack Nicklaus, Gary Player, and Tom Watson. Absolutely awesome. If you didn't get to see that, I highly recommend watching it. It's only like a 6-minute video, but getting to see those guys is really impressive. Gary Player, at 88 years old, striping it down the middle, doing his famous kick after the shot. That dude, he's going to live to be 120. I'm telling you right now. He is in peak health. He still works out every day. He still plays all the time. Gary Player is, obviously golf's greatest global ambassador, being from South Africa. But unbelievable what he's been able to do. Jack, he's in his mid-80s. He's starting to get up there a little bit. You could see that he's getting, to the point where he may not be able to do it much longer. And then Tom Watson in his early 70s, he's still doing really well. He was one of the longest, he had one of the longest careers out of anybody. But Thursday we saw a lot of good scores. It rained all day. The course played, a little bit softer. The greens were more receptive. They weren't running quite as fast. So we saw a lot of low scores. Bryson shot 65. Scotty shot 66. Homa, I think, shot 67. But there were a lot of low scores out there. And then Friday comes. Originally, the cut was supposed to be at +2. That was what their projection was. And you knew Tiger was going to have to do something special to make the cut because he didn't particularly end his first round on a high note. He bogeyed 2 of his last 4 holes. Then the cut moves back to 3 over. And then 4 over. And then 5 over. And then 6 over. There was one round in the 60s all day Friday. And it was Ludwig Oberg, who ended up being the runner-up to Scotty Scheffler. One round in the 60s. That's how difficult that course played on Friday. The wind was ridiculous. It was howling. It was swirling, so these guys didn't know what the heck to do. Putting was impossible. And then Saturday, there was only 2 rounds in the 60s. Chris Kirk and Colin Morikawa were the only 2 rounds in the 60s on Saturday. Sunday, totally different story. Weather was a lot better. There wasn't as much wind. Greens were a lot more, normal for what they expected Augusta National to be. And Scotty did his thing. Oberg got himself in trouble on 9. I'm sorry, Colin. Yeah. Colin got himself in trouble on 9, made it double. Oberg got himself in trouble when he put a ball in the water on 11 as he got to Amen Corner. Colin then also put a ball in the water on 11. So Colin was basically taken out of the tournament by that 3-hole stretch of 9, 10, and 11. So he was done. Max Homa on 12 was square in the mix. Hits his tee shot long into the bushes, had to take it unplayable. Hit a very poor chip. Ended up getting out of there with a 5. So he double bogeys the 12th, the signature hole at Augusta. He ended up shooting 73. So he was 73 for the second straight day. So 1 over par. Tommy Fleetwood made a charge, but it was, he played okay, shot 69, but it was too little too late. Ends up tied for 3rd with Max Homa and Colin Morikawa. Oberg, in the last probably 5 holes, after he made his double at 11, gave himself a chance. Made birdies at 13 and 14, and then pars. But Scotty didn't necessarily look like he was, trying to be aggressive. By the time he made it to 16, 17, he had a 4-shot lead. He just needed to be smart. Number 12 brought back Tiger vibes from 2019. He took the Tiger line right over the bunker, center of the green, nowhere near the hole. 2-putt par, get out of there. And that was after making a bogey on 11. It wasn't the cleanest scorecard for Scott either. He did have 3 bogeys on the day. But then he goes and birdies 13, he birdies 14, and then he birdies 16. It was over at that point. The biggest key to Scotty's win, well, there were 2. Number 1, his putting was average. Which, as we have said, if he just putts average, which is great for him, he's going to win a lot of tournaments. And he did. Number 2, he was smart. He didn't try to attack pins. Now, he did. Shot he hit on 9, then almost went in. And then the shot he hit on 14 to 3 feet. I don't think it was more that he was attacking those pins. He hit really good shots that just settled right by the pin. He knew where the slopes were. He hit shots that went past the pin to the slope, and they came back and settled right next to the hole. So he hit a lot of smart golf shots. 18, drove the ball in the bunker. That bunker is huge. It's probably taller than you and me, that lip that you see right there. He took a 9-iron because he was a little bit had some space, took a 9-iron, got it out of there, hit it to a very similar spot that Tiger did in 2019. There's a little short right of the green. No reason to try to go after it. He's got a 4-shot lead. His short game's been doing pretty well all day. Hit a good chip. You got 3 putts to win. 4 putts to win, actually, because he could have made a triple bogey and still won. And to be honest, if you remember in 2022, if that was the case this year, he would have needed all 4 of those putts because he did 4-putt the 18th green in 2022. But Jim Nantz said it best. They were talking about who the true superstars in the game were, and we're talking about how it was right in front of them all along. And Jim Nantz's call when Scotty made the putt was his stardom is confirmed. Scotty Scheffler is the face of golf right now. More than Rory, more than Tiger, more than basically anybody else that's on the PGA Tour anymore. Because most of the good players have moved on to live. Whether or not they'll end up getting the band back together at some point, who knows? But Scotty Scheffler is him, as the kids would say these days. He is him. He drives the ball better than anybody. Hits tons of fairways. He hits irons just as well as anybody else. His playing partner is the guy who I would say is the best iron player in the world, and Scotty's probably pretty close second. His short game's really good, and his putting was at least average. Since he put that putter in the bag, he's got 3 wins and a tied for second. That's 4 tournaments. Clearly, this putter is doing its job. So Scotty Scheffler winning the Masters, absolutely awesome. Do want to give a quick shout out to the Low-Am, Neil Shipley. Got to play with Tiger in the final round, which, as he said in Butler Cabin when they were doing the Low-Am ceremony before Scotty got the green jacket, he said it was a really, really cool experience, and he was, Tiger was very happy to chat with him because, I think Tiger knew, like, he was out of it. So I think he was there just to have fun at that point, and he probably knew that the kid would have really wanted to play with him, so he toughed it out for that final round. But yeah, he was the only amateur to make the cut. Shot 71, 76 the first 2 days and made the cut. Obviously the last 2 days, or the Saturday round, was not what he anticipated. Shot 80. But he did still beat Tiger. Tiger shot 82 on Saturday. And yeah, that was an awesome tournament to watch. It was a great Masters Sunday. And I will tell you right now, and you can write this one down in your notebooks. Scotty's winning another major this year. I don't know which one, but he is winning another major this year. Mark my words.
I appreciate that coverage, and I appreciate buttoning all that up the way that you have. I have a few thoughts. Well, some historical pieces, if you will. Scotty Scheffler has won 2 Masters, 2022 and 2024. He is the only player besides Tiger Woods to ever win 2 Masters ranked number 1 in the world. The only person.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Tiger. That's it. Chef, Tiger. The only 2 players ever to win the Masters twice while ranked number 1 in the world. In the 2022 Masters, Scheffler came to the 72nd tee, leading by 5. Yesterday, April 14th, 2024, in the 2024 Masters, he arrived at the 72nd tee, leading by 4. He has 2 green jackets in 5 starts. There's only one golfer in history that got 2 green jackets faster. Horton Smith, who won the first and third Masters in 1934 and in 1936. The only person to get to 2 jackets faster did it in the 30s. It's almost 100 years ago. So we're talking about history that's almost 100 years in between. Scotty Scheffler.
Very different now than what it was back then.
And Horton Smith. You look at that, and then you look at talking about, saying I'm making a bold statement here by saying where he is in comparison to Tiger. But him and Tiger are the only two to win the Masters, ranked number 1 in the world both times.
He's also the last person before him to close pre-tournament as the pre-tournament favorite was Tiger in 2005.
Yeah.
Scotty was the pre-tournament favorite. First one of those to win since Tiger won in 2005.
So there's a lot here with this, a lot here with the Masters, a lot here with the excitement of Augusta. And this is a place where I want to bring my dad. I want to get my dad out there.
Have you been entering the lottery every year?
Well, I had a little conversation media-wise on some people that have been down to Augusta before. So I got eventually, maybe. God is great, man. And working on some stuff.
If it happens, it's amazing. But as you know, there aren't, I don't know how it works for the media, but I know for the patrons, there's absolutely no electronic devices in the gates as of Thursday.
Yeah.
Can't take pictures, can't have your phone, nothing. Which I think makes the Masters really, really unique. There's also no running, so you can't run to your starting holes. You have to speed walk. But everything about Augusta National and the Masters in general, it's the reason why the Masters, to most golf fans, now everyone over in Europe, the Open to them is the best, and completely understandable. It's the only one that's on their soil. But to everybody in America, for the most part, that is what makes the Masters the best major there is. And we open with it. The way that everything is handled there, the way Augusta National works, the par 3 contest, Champions Dinner, the green jacket ceremony, it is what makes the Masters so special. And every year, on Sunday of the Masters, people are glued to their televisions. I was at a card show yesterday until about, I think I had left around noon.
Murph's body was at a card
did that
show.
on purpose.
His head was... Your body was there, your mind was elsewhere.
Because half the people I was talking to were, I'm like, I got to be out of here by like absolute latest at 1 o'clock because the Masters comes on CBS at 2. I will be on my couch, beer in hand, watching the Masters. Now, I wasn't on the couch downstairs. I watched it up here in my room where I also have a couch. A little love seat. But, and a bigger TV. That's a... Sorry, Mom and Dad. It's a little flex that I'm gonna fire up. I watched it on the big TV.
Murph's TV is inappropriate. It is inappropriate.
You've seen it.
It is inappropriately large.
Yeah.
I think that the wall that it's on is jealous.
I wish I had this on the phone or my computer so that I could bring it to you and show you.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
maybe one of these days. But realistically,
we have to do this is what we're going to do. We're going to put a 2-scale picture of a whale, and then we're going to put Murph's television, and you're going to see how it engulfs the whale. That's what we
Yes, definitely. But, realistically, I don't know how much longer it'll be up there for. Because, I'll say this right now. We are actually getting ready to move. As obviously you guys know, my setup is different than it normally is. This desk
we just thought you sold
used
everything.
to be over there.
Murph sold everything.
It feels like it, but this setup was usually over there.
Mm-hmm.
And we had it was a bed that had like a pull-out, like an extra mattress. It was like for my cousin Tiffany's and I think it was older than me. My mom sold the bed on Facebook Marketplace because we didn't want to take it with us. So we moved the desk over here.
Yeah.
Now, originally, I was going to just move that stuff over here. But my mom was like, nah, like, don't worry about it. Because I still wanted to have, because this TV that is right there, this one,
Yeah.
I would watch that from my desk. Like if I'm, on a computer or whatever, I'm, playing MLB The Show or whatever.
I have hidden televisions
I'd watch it from there.
in my studio. I actually have, I should say television. I have a hidden television in my studio right now. And I was just thinking about, like, where am I going to put it next? But I do have a hidden TV in the studio.
Yeah. But yeah, so like we've spent probably the last week just throwing stuff out, packing stuff up. Like this room, as of maybe a day ago, it was a mess.
Yeah.
But it was mostly just a mess of things that we pulled out of the closet that's right next to me and put into boxes. I didn't necessarily care about what went where. I just threw stuff in boxes and put it outside.
Where are the cards? There's like a box that says, the Wyatt Langford box, it's like, do not touch this. Like there has to be, they're all there. Because I'm going to say.
Hang on a sec.
Murph needs to
We'll talk more about this later, but hang on 1 second.
Yeah, Murph has to make sure that his boxes are protected by all stretches of the imagination. We'll actually take a step aside while Murph is taking a step aside. We'll be back right after this.
In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you. Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes.
Our corporate purpose at Chick-fil-A is to glorify God by being faithful stewards of all that's entrusted to us and to positively influence all those who come in contact with Chick-fil-A. And what became increasingly clear from our success in Cicero is that people love Chick-fil-A. And also, I think we recognized that, we had a great opportunity to grow the brand and grow our platform. I felt incredibly grateful when I was selected to be a Chick-fil-A operator. I think what it's meant for me, what I've come to realize on a very deep level is that this is a calling for me. It's not a career. It's not a job. The Lord called me to be a Chick-fil-A operator and to use these restaurants to glorify Him and to positively influence other people. I'm blessed. I'm very blessed.
Head to Chick-fil-A Clay on 3974 State Route 31 in Liverpool, New York.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. We appreciate you being here every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And we're here on a Monday, as we always are, starting off your week with DT and Murphy, featuring fellow broadcaster, Mr. Brendan Murphy. Murph, we asked where your cards were and if they were being protected and if your mom knew which ones not to touch. So you have...
You wanted to know where the cards were, so here's my box.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Nothing.
Nothing.
Murph.
I did it again.
He sold the lot. Murph, we have a show. We have a show in 2 weeks.
I know that, but I'll do it. Hey, I'll do the same thing I did last time. I will sit there and I will buy all day. Now, I do have 2 orders coming back from PSA that will be back before then.
Oh, yeah. Murph sent out.
At least I hope so.
Murph sent out 1,200 cards. And he's
It's about 50. 51.
I felt like
51 cards.
It was in the thousands.
No. I got 51 cards out of PSA right now. They are probably actually only 48 are mine. But they are supposed to be back. They're both in assembly right now. So they'll be shipping before the end of the week. So I'll have them before the show. So, realistically, I'm not all that worried about it, but it was the same guy that I sold everything to last time.
Oh, wow.
And I think it was it was a good deal for me because what I was able to do was take that, restart again. I got rid of a bunch of stuff that I've been having trouble selling.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm good with that. And, with my trip to Europe coming up, it helps me pay for that. So that always helps. And this way I can kind of get back into what my quote unquote specialty is, like the lower end stuff that I can buy relatively cheap and sell for like a $10 profit. And that's all I need.
Yeah.
Right. You do enough of those, you make a couple $100 really, really easily. Right. So I'm not all that worried about, what I'm going to have for the show. It's one of those things that, I'll have stuff, but I mean, I do still have stuff, like my PC box that I have. Whoop, hang on. My PC box that I have is full.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of stuff that I've got that I didn't bring with me that day. Everything I brought with me, every last card I brought with me, I sold yesterday. But like I still have a bunch of cards that I really like. So let's see. I mean, I know we usually wait till the end to do this, but we can actually. I mean, I don't know if you want to do this now, but it's up to you.
Yeah, we can. We can.
Let's see.
I'm hearing. I'm hearing
gotten
something in the studio moving, and I'm trying to figure out. I'm like, is there like some type of earthquake aftershock? What the heck is going on? There's like a little subtle thing. I don't know what that was.
Maybe.
Sure.
But I've gotten some sweet stuff. Like I've gotten 2 more Brees Hall RPAs. This is a Proton RPA numbered out of 10.
Yeah.
This is sick. And then I got one similar to your T-Law. There's another Brees Hall.
I like it.
4 patches. You got the NFL logo on the ball. You got a napkin patch. Then you got a 2-color patch and a 3-color patch. So those are sweet. A Spectra Garrett Wilson RPA. This is one of my favorites because of who it is. And I think the card cost me $25.
I don't think I showed any of these before.
Kyle Trask, National Treasures, RPA, in his college uniform.
Yeah.
It's a Florida uniform. That is
Trask.
what I loved about it.
Trask we like in the sports world, but Bolivar Trask, for those of you watching the extension of the X-Men cartoon that I watched as a child, he creates the Sentinels and he's evil. So when I hear Trask, it's like Kyle, good, Bolivar, awful. That's what I think about when I hear the name Trask. So if you have the last name Trask, I just want you to know it's like a 50-50 shot for me when I hear that name. But yeah, and then there's a couple Sauce Gardner autos that I've gotten. Mosaic, pretty sweet. Got another Anthony Richardson. This is college uniform from Select. I like it.
It's a good one. Francisco Alvarez has had a great start to the season. That is numbered to 30, top silver signatures. Got that from a buddy of mine. think I gave him $45 for that. Hometown advantage, Pete Alonso. It's a pretty cool one.
I like Pete Alonso.
I don't know if I've shown that one on here yet, but regardless. And then, this is the one. I don't think I was able to ever show this one on here yet. If I did, I apologize. But Mike Piazza, this is a 2023 Top Series 1, numbered to 25, PSA 9. So, as many of you know, Mike Piazza was my favorite player growing up. If I see Mike Piazza autos that are reasonably priced, I usually will jump at them.
Yeah, I know you like your Piazzas. I have a few to show that I've never shown before. I have a rookie card, gold refractor, and don't mind the price on here because it's just on here, but Pat Corbin. Rookie card with the Diamondbacks, who was at CNS, Cicero North Syracuse, who have done a lot of work with their student athletes. I have a Threads, and these are worth something. This guy's been around for a long time. He's one of the most tenured former Syracuse players in the NBA, and this is a rookie card auto of Jeremy Grant, who I got
He's
to
been in the league a little while, hasn't he?
Who I've had a good relationship with and definitely built a connection to over the years. This is one of my favorite cards because it is a gold signature from Jeremy Grant. So for the people, I know some people might be watching this, like Mr. Matty Shaler, who we have a trade night, GG Cards and Breaks trade night at the Wildcat this Thursday from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m., and that is April 18th, and we want to see you all out there. And I know that there's people that love Syracuse collection stuff. This is Malachi Richardson. I've never showed these. I forgot I had this. This is one of my favorite people. He called me a brother to him before he even came to Syracuse, and he came and spent his whole career here. It's a rookie card auto of Steve Ishmael, who spent some time with the Indianapolis Colts. And then we have more JoJo and more Josiah Gray stuff. This is like all PC stuff. This is Jalen Rose, who I got to meet in Georgetown when I was at a game out there. This is when he played for the Raptors, piece of his jersey. I have a piece of Kyle Lowry's jersey from the Raptors. These are things that I can get for like $1, which is awesome. I have a rookie card of Mr. Dungeness Crab here, Mr. Eric Dungy. And then we have a Panini Contenders throwback. Oh, this one's numbered. I didn't even know that. Numbered to 250. Byron Leftwich.
There you go. Oh, by the way, that T-Law, the duel with Mark Brunell, that was also in there.
Oh, so Murph sold it.
Yeah.
Gave it a little sell.
Hey, you didn't want it. You didn't want it, so I sold it.
I know. It's so I have a few more.
There's also a Corbin Carroll auto in there too.
Well, that's ridiculous. And so, but I have this. So
and a lot of Wyatt Langford.
I wanted I don't even know what this card is. Oh, this is Kurt Schilling. This is when did I get this card? This is this is numbered to 100. It's a piece of Kurt Schilling's jersey from the Diamondbacks. I don't remember getting this card, but it's sitting in here. Okay. This one I got, and I wanted Randy. Randy Johnson's my favorite pitcher of all time, and I wanted to have a piece of his jersey. So I have two of those, and I actually got them at GG Cards and Breaks first trade night that was at the Wildcat Sports Pub. We're heading to our third one that we're doing out there this Thursday, like I said, and they happen every month. But this is a patch of Randy Johnson on the Arizona Diamondbacks. So it's like, it looks no different because it's white and the Yankees ones are like whitish gray, but that's him on the Diamondbacks. I got a Josh Allen rookie just to add to my Jaguars vast collection, and shout out to my man who got paid. So,
just re-signed him to a big contract, yeah.
Yeah. And then this is one that's very important to me because this guy had the final hit that secured me seeing any of my teams. This is the first time I saw any one of my teams win a championship in me being a fan in my lifetime. And that's the Arizona Diamondbacks. This is a piece of the bat of Luis Gonzalez.
There we go. That's a good one.
Love that. Then I got, this is numbered to 50, Calvin Ridley. He's not on the team anymore, but he was at the time. I'm going to save this one because you'll appreciate this one. Up-tempo Vince Carter. I believe that, and I like the hoops. I like Topps hoops. But Vince and I think we're okay now. You know, I think he's okay with Toronto, and we're okay with him now. I think that's how it goes. This is from my big brother down in Florida. He put this together for me. Didn't matter Allen and Ginter, didn't matter number, didn't matter rookie, didn't matter if it was worth money. He put together an entire Diamondbacks collection for me, and he continues to do this. And he'll just hand me cards and be like, hey, these are worth money, but you like the Diamondbacks. So all these Diamondbacks for my birthday, he made me a set of all the cards he opened and put it in this little case for me.
That's good, yeah.
And so we have that. And then this is the last one, and I'm really excited that I got this card. And this is absolutely in my PC collection. To me, it's priceless. It is a Tim Tebow Jacksonville Jaguars tight end card.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, got Tebow blocking wearing number 85. And I have 3 Tim Tebow rookie cards on the Florida Gators. But this is my only Tebow Jaguar tight end card. And I saw it, and I forget what, it was probably at Gigi's, but like, I was like, dude, it had to have been, I was like, I don't care. It was like $1. But to me, when I found it, it was like I stumbled upon gold, and I didn't want anybody else in the mine to know what I just chipped into. I was like, hey, everybody get back from me. This is my Tebow card. But I mean,
real quick before we move on, I made an offer to somebody on Whatnot for a certain card, and they basically told me that their best offer would be $300. And I'm curious. I usually don't like to go that much on PC cards.
Yeah.
But I am curious to hear your thoughts.
Okay.
This is numbered to 10. This is a 2-color patch auto of Aaron Rodgers in a Jets uniform.
Oh, nice.
I want an Aaron Rodgers auto in a Jets uniform, but I don't know if I want to fork over $300 for it. But if there is one to do it,
can you hold that closer?
I
to the screen?
feel
I
like
can see it, but can you hold it a little bit closer? Oh, cool. All right, yeah.
I feel like this is the one to do it on. It's numbered out of 10.
It's a cool looking card. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's numbered to 10. It's obviously for your PC. I think, pricing it at $300 is taking advantage of Jets fans. But I think if this thing was 1 anything, then yeah. I think if it was 2, then we have an argument of maybe. I think 3 is much that they're asking for. I like the card. I like the patch. I like it that it's an auto. I like that, obviously.
The problem is there's no comp. So
you're
there's
a
no
Jets and a Rodgers guy, and it's number 7. Well, because I honestly think that this card, I feel like we could see it at a show for like.
I don't know though.
No, I'm saying like if we saw it at a show, I feel like this would be like a $50 card to some people. Not
a patch auto like that, number to 10.
Well, I mean, it's Aaron, but
my biggest thing is even just looking for Aaron Rodgers autos in a Jets uniform.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, finding an Aaron Rodgers card.
But they have. They have them.
Yeah.
But the ones that they have, at least that you can actually still actively buy, are. There's a Phoenix out of 15 that did 220. There's another out of 15 that did 230. Basically the same card as the one I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Auto out of 5 did 200. Regular auto, no patch. But a lot of these have sold already. So like it's hard to find anything, like any of them. Because I just want an auto of him in a Jets uniform. Yeah. I don't care if it's a patch. but I want an auto and a Jets uniform. There's an Obsidian. It's not numbered though. I ideally like something that's numbered.
Yeah.
I
one's
don't
nice.
want Leaf. There's a
There's a
Prism Blue
yeah,
Shimmer.
there's a
to
prism one
25.
that's like reddish orange that I'm seeing that's really nice looking.
The one that's numbered to 35.
This one,
That you see?
Yeah.
Yep, yeah, I saw that one too. Donruss numbered to 25 out of 4. Like, I feel like for the type of card it is,
It's unique.
yeah.
Like
I don't think that's a bad. What I think I'm gonna do.
will he go under
there's
3? Will he go under 3 at all? It's like no, he's not gonna go under 3.
No.
But the thing is, I mean, like, what's the market? You know what I mean? Like 270.
Jets fans.
Right, but it's like 270.
But like it's not far off. Like I think I offered him 285 was the highest I'd offered him.
Yeah.
Which another $15 and is not all that much.
I think you want it.
I think I do too. Now there's a Blue Shimmer to 25 Prism Auto that is on bids right now, and it's got 3 days left. So part of me almost wants to wait and see if I can get that for like 2 and change.
Yeah.
And if I can, I'll get that. And if I can't, I'll probably end up reaching out to that guy and getting that one. But I don't know if I want I feel like I want the patch more than I want just the auto.
Yeah.
Like, it's a sweet card.
Yeah. I mean, I will honestly say, my opinion, respecting Aaron Rodgers, and obviously I'm not a Jets fan, I'm a Jaguars fan, but looking at that card, thinking of you, knowing you, and seeing that card, I feel like you want that in your collection. I would like him to come under the 3 number. I would like him to, and it doesn't have to be far under it. It just has to be under the 3.
I was trying to get the total price to be right at 3, which is because with taxes and everything, it would come out to like, I think like 315 or 318 or something like that.
Yeah,
that's my biggest issue with it.
I would say, knowing you, knowing what you spent on other stuff, knowing that you're a Jets fan, if this guy came in under 3 and so, and including everything that it didn't, go over that number or something like that, I think that makes sense. Like, I know what I paid for the Trevor Lawrence that I got, and I also know that
I also think that was a good price for that card. Now,
and it was also
it might have come his stuff has come down a little bit since that show, which is, a little bit annoying, but at the same time, like, that's a sick card. Like, what's it numbered to? I don't remember. What's it numbered out of? 49 or 99?
It is numbered. It is numbered out of 35.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, like, that's an absolute numbered out of 35.
And it's black piece of the black jersey piece. It's got a black piece of jersey. It's got a teal piece. It's got a piece of the black helmet. It's got a piece of the football that he allegedly held. It's rookie premier, absolute, rookie patch auto, but rookie helmet, dual patch football auto number to 35.
I think the absolute series is really cool.
Trevor.
Because, like I said, I've got a few of them. I mean, like, I have a couple of Breece Hall.
I feel like a little kid. I just want to hold it up for the rest of the show. I'm just going to do this. So, like, look at my card. I waited, because Murph knows, I waited 2 years.
You did. You waited way too long for that.
2 years. Well, I didn't see
but yeah,
like
I have this Breece Hall, the absolute. This was a cheap card, too. I think I might have paid $30 for that. This was a little more because it's numbered to 49, because this one was numbered out of 99. This was numbered to 49. I think I paid $70 for that, but it's a little bit of a better patch. And then this guy, numbered to 99. Yeah. But they're sweet patches.
Yeah. Well,
they're sweet patches, right? At the last show, that's what I like about them.
At the last show we were at, I have some Leonard Fournettes I'm willing to part ways with because he didn't end up being the Jaguar that I thought he was going to be. And I had a 4-color patch, and this kid came over and he's like, "That's a sick patch, man." And then he looked at it and he's like, "How much you asking for?" And I gave him a price, and he's like, "That's a sick patch, dude." And he's like, "All right, I'm going to do it." So, like, sometimes that's what it is. Like,
Sometimes it's just the patch.
that's what attracted me to Lamar Jackson. The Lamar Jackson
Mm-hmm.
card was his patch. And, my Nick Chubb card, like, I have patches that have been colorful, that are you can tell, okay, that's a number, that's a letter. In the case of Nick Chubb, it was like, it looked like an X of the one that I have. But it's funny because the owner of GG Cards and Breaks, Josh Gideon, bought that off of me. And he was like, we were at the last trade night at the Wildcat, he was like, "Well, if this is going to go to some schmuck down the road, like, I would rather it go to my collection." And it's funny because, like, I'll look at Nick Chubb stuff now, and he's like, "Are you having that, like, not remorse, because I don't, but he's like, you're kind of having that, like, itch?" And I said, "Yeah, because it was a sick looking card." Like, that entire series of rookie patch autos
It was a Spectra from 2018, right?
that I had Lamar. I had Lamar Jackson, I had Nick Chubb, I had DJ Moore, and I had Traquan Smith. And DJ Moore's patch was boring. It was black and white, and that was it. But they all sold. They're all gone. And they used to sit right over my shoulder on a wood pallet that somebody made my logo on. And so they used to literally just sit right over my shoulder. So it is kind of like bittersweet because I had that series for such a long time, and it's the look of the card. It's the look of, like, it's the look of stuff like this where I see Will Anderson and I just like the refractor. It's the look of certain things, like, I wanted a CJ Stroud that was encased, and it's not a 10, but it's a 9, and I like the way that the card looked in the vortex. So there's just certain things that you like. But Trevor, I held out. I held out on Trevor until I found one that I really wanted. I ran to go see this. And then, like, I ran.
Once I told you,
I ran because it was before the show. And I ran. Shout out to CNY Promotions for putting on the show at the fair. I ran over after Murph saw it, looked at it, talked to the guy, and then ran back to Murph. And I was like, "I'm going to do it." And the guy gave me a price, and we
I thought he gave you a pretty good price for that. I mean,
thought, yeah, no, he
could have been a little bit better, but
Yeah.
I thought he gave you a pretty fair price.
He gave me a price that was far below the stuff that they were asking for online that I did not like this. I was not, and I said repeatedly, I am not buying a Trevor Lawrence RPA unless I absolutely just, the card is just, I love the card. And I'm not buying it. I saw stuff on like $800. I'm like, no, this card's, I don't like anything about the card. I was like, I'm not buying it unless I really, really like the card. This card.
That was my thing about the Garrett Wilson.
This card's never going to leave my collection. Like,
yeah.
I don't care. It's not about.
But I thought
money,
the same
it's
thing about
the
my Garrett Wilson RPA, the Panini Black one that I got. But then I just got this one, which I thought was sick.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is the same type. Like, this is the Radiant Rookie. This is the same series from Spectra that the Lamar was out of, just, the right year.
Lamar.
But, yeah.
I miss Lamar. I do. I miss that.
I kind of do too.
Card. I miss that.
I kind of do too.
That card was with me for years.
And the guy I sold it to sold it. So,
look at that.
I don't know who has it now.
So I sold it to Murph, who sold it to a guy, who sold it to another guy. So it's already been in 4. Well, it's in 5 hands because I bought it off of somebody. So at least 5. But yeah, that Lamar, man, I miss him.
But so the last time I did this and I sold everything, I went out. I got $3,500 last time.
Yeah.
I probably spent $1,500 of that right away.
Yeah.
Buying stuff. I got $5,250 this time.
I'm guessing there was a lot of Wyatt in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of Wyatt.
Mm-hmm.
My green auto, that was in there. I had a Jackson Holiday auto that was in there. If you include my Jackson Holiday, that I just sold on eBay.
Yeah.
Which I got $1,575 for, and I pay, and with fees, it came out to like $13.50. I got almost $7,000 for everything I had, which is pretty darn sweet.
It's awesome.
But I might have spent $250, if that. It's $50 for the table.
Yeah.
I paid $75 for that Anthony Richardson. I got the Francisco Alvarez, I think, for $45. I bought a small box of Tiger Woods stuff for $20. Oh god!
I just like.
And I got like 2 or 3 other cards. Like, I did not spend much of that money at all.
I think I showed these before, but I just want to shout out Anthony Campbell at GG Cards and Breaks. That I got my Drew Timmy auto, that's numbered to 99, and I got my Marvin Harrison Bowman first, blue and pink, and this is numbered to. Where's the number on this one? I thought this one was numbered. Am I losing my mind? This one's not numbered. But yes. But Marvin Harrison Jr., who I think may be the number 5 overall pick, and Drew Timmy, who is one of my favorite Zags of all time. But I wanted a Marvin Harrison. I wanted a Drew Timmy. My words to Anthony were, I would rather buy them from GG's than buy them anywhere else. And I had seen them online, but, I was holding out. I'm always holding out, like, maybe it'll come into GG's. Maybe a Caitlin Clark auto will come in there. This and that. So,
I did see a Caitlin Clark auto yesterday.
Yeah, I know. I was in the store like 2 days before, and I don't know where that came from, and I don't know what happened with it.
I did see one yesterday. And it was from that guy, Sean, but he got it as part of a collection. He was going to give it to me for what he paid for it, because I told him that, I know you've been looking for one.
Yeah.
And when he told me the prices, I'm like, I guarantee it's a pretty good price, because he always gives, good prices on this stuff.
Yeah.
I've never, he's always made good. Our deals are quick. He'll buy lots and he gives me fair prices on everything. It was more than you would have wanted to spend. I'll tell you that right now. So I was kind of like my thing. I'm like, if it was, I knew it was gonna be expensive. I don't know how expensive, but I knew it was gonna be expensive.
Yeah.
Now that she's going to the WNBA, her stuff I imagine will probably start to get cheaper
tonight.
Especially considering they lost.
Yeah, and tonight she very well could end up being the number 1 overall pick tonight. So.
Could. If she's not the number 1 overall pick, that would be absolutely blasphemous.
Yeah.
I don't even know who the heck's picking number 1. I don't even know who the WNBA teams are.
Indiana Fever.
I could not care less.
Indiana Fever are picking number 1.
Okay. But if they don't pick her, that is absolute blasphemy. That would be horrible.
It's like passing on Michael Jordan, but
basically.
But it's Caitlin Clark, and she's awesome.
But didn't Hakeem go number 1 in that draft?
There's a couple people that were picked in front of Michael.
There were 2 guys picked in front of Michael. I'm pretty sure one of them was Hakeem.
And then the LeBron draft, there was someone picked in between him and Carmelo.
I don't remember who it was though.
But yeah, Caitlin Clark, Indiana Fever tonight. I'm gonna become a Fever fan. The funny thing about the Fever is their jersey look is the color is it's like an Iowa jersey. So it's just kind of, she's not going that far away. She's staying in the Midwest.
Iowa just loves
the colors
ripping off professional teams' jerseys.
Yeah. Did you say Iowa?
The Steelers, their football jerseys are basically the Steelers jerseys. Apparently their women's basketball jerseys are like the Indiana Fever. So like they love ripping off pro teams' jerseys.
Yeah. I'm absolutely, and if and when she gets selected by the Fever, I will have a song prepared for tomorrow's show that has to do with my childhood that will make my mom and my dad laugh. But I'm excited for that. So before we jump into our last fast break and then get into a few notes on Major League Baseball and then on to the NFL draft, which is less than 2 weeks away, who are you buying now? And which is probably a perfect question with the fact that you're buying now. But who are you looking for? Because we got a show coming up. I got some people I'm looking for. I got some people that have been like low key, just kind of taking some stuff and bringing it into the collection. And then there's other people that are like high profile, like CJ Stroud and whatnot, and Caitlin Clark. But who are you looking for? What's the Murphadamus, right? Like Nostradamus. If you were Murphadamusing this thing, who are you looking to bring in that you think will be flavorful for the next Fishtown show that we got?
I mean, Jalen Hurts, anything moves down there.
I'm happy. I think I still have one of his things. So.
Anything Jalen Hurts, and I'm gonna sit there and I'm just gonna buy a bunch of Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
I'm probably just gonna post on my Instagram and like I'm buying Jalen Hurts. You know, I'm gonna try and buy it 75, 80%, sell it at 90 to 95.
Yeah.
Right? Give myself enough room to make money on the stuff. But if you remember the first time we did the Fishtown show, how much Jalen Hurts stuff did I buy that maybe lasted an hour in the case?
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. I bought something there that I'm like bringing back there. I've had people, I think I still have it. People look at it, but I'm like, I'll sell it when I go back.
But I remember, so last week at the Sports Factory show, I had bought a downtown Jalen Hurts for $300.
Oh, wow.
I sold it less than 10 minutes later for $320. Less than 10 minutes. People love Jalen Hurts. People love downtown Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
People love Jalen Hurts rookies in Philadelphia. Bryce Harper, same thing. People love Bryce Harper.
Yeah, I sold mine. Had it listed at $100, 10 out of 10, Gem Mint, PSA, rookie card. Had it listed at 100. Guy came over during the show, came back on the way out with his wife, looked at the card, picked it up, looked at it again. He went, $100? I said, yeah. He goes, cool. Handed me two 50s and walked out.
There you go. That was a Fishtown, right?
Yeah.
And I think that was the one you got from me.
It was. Yeah, I didn't know. I was like, do I want to part with this? It's the first price that I had, and I was like, you know,
you can easily get another one though.
Yeah, for $100.
Liquid cards like that, you can easily get another one. But yeah, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, selling everything I did the math in my head. I probably ended up losing. It was about $500, but last time it was like $2,000.
Yeah.
Last time I had serious seller's remorse. This time, not really. You know, and I even said that to the guy too. I'm like, I had some seller's remorse last time. You know, but we ended up coming up with a number that was fair in my book. Gave him enough room to make money on the stuff and put over $5,000 in cash in my pocket that I'm going to be able to use to A, buy more cards.
Yeah.
And B, pay for my trip to Europe. You know, I'm now going to be more willing to go to Scotland. Like, I want to go to Scotland and see St. Andrews on my way home. I might, the wedding's Saturday. So they have brunch on Sunday. I'm thinking about taking a flight from Nice at 6 a.m., flying up to Scotland, going and playing a round of golf at one of the courses around St. Andrews, and then walking the course at St. Andrews. Because on Sundays, it's a park.
Yeah.
Anybody can go walk around the course. You just can't hit a golf ball. Understandable.
But
I'll go walk around. I'll go walk across the Swilken Bridge. I'll take a picture on the Swilken Bridge. I'll go see the road hole. I'll go see everything. And I'll go get, merchandise from the shop.
I want you to call it the Murphapian trip. And there's something about seeing you who's like so proud to be an American. There's something about seeing you in Europe and just the experience of that. Like the video where it was, can I guess the country music star to the songs that I love?
Oh, God.
And the second video that we filmed was fantastic because I was good at it. The one that we didn't film the day before, I was awful. But I was so bad.
That was. Because that was on the way to Philly.
Yeah,
that was rough.
And I want to see the Murphapian trip. I really do. I want to see Murph.
I don't know what kind of videos I'm gonna take. I don't know what kind of pictures. I mean, I'm gonna take a lot of pictures. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Because we're spending 2 days in Dublin, we're spending a day and a half in Amsterdam, we're going down to the wedding, and then I think now I'm almost definitely going to do it, flying up to Scotland.
Yeah.
Gonna go see St. Andrews, for the first time. I'm not gonna play it, but I'll get to go see it. I'm gonna try and get a tee time at the new course or one of the other courses that's right there. And then I'd have a flight. I'd spend the night. I'd probably try to spend the night either in St. Andrews or make my way back to Edinburgh, where I'd be flying out of to go back to Dublin, because I did a round trip flight from Dublin.
Yeah.
And I gotta get back there anyway, so that's why I'll go up to Scotland instead. And then I'd fly home Monday afternoon, and I'd probably get home at like 7, 8 o'clock at night, our time.
Yeah.
It's gonna feel like 3 a.m. European time, but that's okay. And then I'll get up to go to work the next day.
Yeah. Edinburgh.
So
Edinburgh,
Yep.
announced again on the show, is the home of Callum Donnelly, the Lemoyne Dolphins men's soccer head coach. And ever since he told
Scottish.
me that Edinburgh, Scotland, ever since he told me that was his home, I have seen it in TV shows, movies, and now Murph said it. It's like, so if you wonder, folks, can you speak something into existence? Yes, you can.
Yes.
And it's
Just ask LeVar Ball.
you can, yeah. Oh, my lord, that's the wrong person to quote for
I
any of
know.
that.
I know.
That
But
was-
he was the one. He was the one that everybody talked about saying that.
Hey, listen.
But I'm looking forward to it, and
It'll be fun.
to continue answering your question though. Jalen Hurts, Bryce Harper, Anthony Richardson. I'm going to be buying a little bit of CJ Stroud if I can get it cheap and grade it.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be a guy that I'll be investing in. But a lot of the guys that I'm going to invest in going into the NFL season, I'm going to try and sell it early on in the season.
Yeah.
Like if they have a bad week one, you can still make money on the stuff, get rid of it. But I'm going to basically now, what I'm going to do is, take my profit and go. Be done with it. Don't try to make more than I have to.
Yeah.
If I can make a little, it's better than nothing. Make a little on everything, and I'm a happy camper. Make myself too.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I got a lot of stuff. I'm going to see what I get at GG Cards and Breaks.
So who are
trade
you
night.
investing in? You're dodging the question now.
CJ Stroud. Definitely CJ. Who else am I investing in? I mean, I'm looking for Aaron Judge, but that's more for me. So CJ Stroud, I would say Aiden O'Connell, which is a continuation of my prediction last year. I would say football-wise, who else am I looking into? I'm going to see the Marvin Harrison Jr. stuff that's there. If there's a Marvin Harrison Jr. auto.
I would wait until his pro stuff comes out for that.
I know. I just want to see the price.
That's my big thing. And in my experience, I've found out that college stuff is not all that popular. If you are a fan of the team that player played for, such as me with the Gators, like my Richardson stuff, my Kyle Trask stuff, my Kyle Pitt stuff, I want him in Florida Gator uniforms.
Yeah.
Right? But especially with Anthony Richardson, the people that want Anthony Richardson are in his pro uniform. Right? So, that select Anthony Richardson auto that I got, I'm keeping that. It's in his Gator uniform. I'll keep it.
Yeah.
That Kyle Trask NT, that I'm definitely keeping. It's $25.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm probably going to get it graded and just to have it in a slab. I don't even give a crap what it grades.
Yeah.
Like, there's stuff that I have in there that, if somebody does a cheap, like a grading special that it's like $10 to grade or whatever, I'll do that simply so that I could just get the stuff graded. Get it put in a slab. Just because I want it.
Yeah.
But, I don't know how much buying and selling, to be honest, I'm going to be doing over the next couple of weeks because, like I said, we got someone coming to take pictures of the house tomorrow. We're doing an open house next Saturday.
Yeah.
So,
well, and I know
I got to make sure that they know not to do anything the following Saturday because you'll be here.
Yeah.
But
I know what I'm doing. Yeah. So I mean, it's good that I'm having a GG Cards a break. It's good that we got the trade night going on at the Wildcat. I'm going to be taking a good hard look at some things here. Maybe some Anthony Richardson stuff, professional, CJ Stroud, for me, I'm looking at some Drake May stuff. I'm looking at some Marvin Harrison Jr. stuff. I am probably waiting on some pro things for some of the other guys. And baseball-wise, I'm kind of open.
And I forgot about Wyatt. I'll still buy Wyatt.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll always buy
I'm
Wyatt.
interested in Wyatt. I'm interested in Holiday. I'm interested.
Now's not the time to buy Holiday, though.
Yeah.
If you have it, now's the time to sell Holiday.
So I do have.
Considering
some
it just
of
got
that.
called up.
Yeah.
That Bowman, so that PSA 10 Bowman first auto that I sold was selling for maybe $12.50 recently.
Yeah.
I got $15.75 the day he got called up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically a push for me, right? But that's okay because there's more money in my pocket. That card by itself pays for all my flights in Europe. It's not going to pay for stuff over in Europe, but
Yeah.
that's what the rest of the stuff was for.
Yeah. No, so I mean, I think there's certain ones that I'm always kind of keeping an eye out for, like CJ Stroud, and that's, at the last show, that's what I got. I got a CJ Stroud in a slab, so now I have two. I have a 10 out of 10 and I have a 9 out of 10, and they're different cards. But I would say quarterbacks I'm looking for, and
but my thing I've found is I'm not looking at the quarterbacks that I think, like, I'm not looking for your Desmond Ridder types.
no.
O'Connell is that guy. I mean, I've got some Aiden O'Connell.
Right.
But
I feel like I can get Aiden O'Connell stuff on the cheap. I think that
exactly.
he's
Like,
a low on the radar.
I'm not
guy.
going to buy RPAs of Aiden O'Connell. Expensive card of Aiden O'Connell.
No, not expensive. No.
Right? Like, that kind of stuff. Like, I've got a Prism Silver that maybe cost me $5 that I'm getting graded right now.
Yeah.
I've got two, well, only one, I think, now. I got a PSA 10, just regular Prism, but it's only a $20 card. Even in a 10, it's only a $20 card. I thought it would have been more. So, something I'll probably hold till season starts, and I imagine there's going to be some hype around him, considering he's going to be the starting quarterback for the Raiders.
Yeah.
And even if he's not, okay, I'm out $20.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the end of the world.
Well,
But the guys that I will buy expensive stuff, Stroud, Richardson, Hurts. I am staying away from Josh Allen, though.
Uh-huh.
I know that's a controversial statement for a upstate New York audience, but now without Diggs, I don't know if I trust him.
Well,
I am
it depends
I am
on what
steering
they do
clear
with
of
the
Josh
draft.
Allen.
They're gonna have to.
That's true.
They're gonna have to trade.
But I'm
up
steering
on
clear of
28.
Josh. I have to
Yeah.
at this point.
Hey, I understand. I mean, I think some of his stuff's going to go down, but we're going to take a step aside for a fast break. We'll be back. We're going to make a quick note on Major League Baseball and then talk about Jets and Jags when it comes to the NFL draft. We have just a few minutes left with you here this morning. We'll be back after this fast break on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora with DT and Murphy. Avicoli's, located on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, has been your trusted neighbor for decades. Located just steps from Liverpool High School, we're happy to have the Liverpool Warriors on-site, on-location broadcast at Avicoli's through Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every single month, featuring student athletes, coaches, and administration throughout the year from Liverpool High School. Head out to Avicoli's today on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. We'd love to see you out there. And of course, you can call them at 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. That's 315-622-5100. And also find them on myavicolis.com. That's myavicollis.com. Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Campground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily?
So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Campground and where your dog will be staying, in the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Campground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9campground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and campground spelled with a K.com. K9campground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to Canine Campground.
PB&J's Lunchbox, the food truck that you love finding all throughout central and upstate New York, now has a street-side cafe. So when you're craving their traditional favorites as well as their out-of-box amazing menu items, you can now head to 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. Located just minutes from the highway, the Thruway, Destiny USA, and Onondaga Lake Parkway, PB&J's Lunchbox Street-Side Cafe is there for you Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner all throughout the day. Get breakfast for dinner, dinner for lunch, whatever you fancy, including their award-winning grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Find them at 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. PB&J's Lunchbox, where we love to know what's in your lunchbox.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant.
GG Cards and Breaks. Like, comment, subscribe.
GG Cards and Breaks, located for you on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York, is your home for all your sports card needs. Open 7 days a week. You'll find them Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Sundays from 10 to 5. And you will get inside of GG Cards and Breaks hockey, baseball, basketball, football, soccer, all sport, AEW, UFC, as well as Disney Lorcana and Pokemon. All of it in one place. GG Cards and Breaks. For graded cards, for packs, for boxes and singles. You never know what's coming in, and you never know when it's going to be there. Different things getting put into the cases all throughout the year. And so I implore you to get to GG Cards and Breaks, and then I implore you to turn around and go back again a couple days from then, because you never know what you're going to find. GG Cards and Breaks being the difference in our community, caring about the hobby, building up the hobby, and bringing us in the community together, which is probably the most special part of all of it. Find them at 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York, 7 days a week. GG Cards and Breaks. You know where to go.
with that being said, here on the broadcast, Murph and I are going to make a quick note on Major League Baseball. As of this morning, my Diamondbacks are back to 500. Let's go. And we are seeing in baseball a lot of injuries. We know that one of the best pitchers.
That's an understatement.
I know. And PJ and I went through the breakdown of the just onslaught of injuries that have happened to pitchers in baseball. We now know that Spencer Strider will be out for the remainder of the season, and our prayers go to him in a speedy recovery, and to everybody out there in and out of sports that is going through anything. Spencer Strider, the Atlanta Braves pitcher, ace, he is finding himself out for the remainder of the season, and we are not even a full 3 weeks into the season. So definitely another sad story. There's a question of Garrett Cole, and there's a long, long list of people, and just hoping that that list gets shorter, people get healthy, and we stop seeing these injuries, not just in Major League Baseball, but that we stop seeing Tommy John surgery with 14 to 16-year-olds. So any words, Murph?
I mean, half the freaking pitchers that have gone out this year, I have on one of my fantasy teams.
Yeah.
If you want to, so listen to my pitching staff. Just the guys that are hurt right now. Jordan Romano, he's gonna be back tomorrow. Nick Pivetta got placed on the IL.
Yeah.
Garrett Cole, Jacob deGrom, Max Scherzer, Kodai Senga, Spencer Strider, Yuri Perez.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3 coming back from Tommy John. 4 may end up needing Tommy John at some point. 5 got a back injury. 6 has a shoulder injury. None of these guys are coming back anytime soon, other than Nick Pivetta and Romano. 60-day IL, 60-day IL, 60-day IL, 60-day IL, 60-day IL, out for the year. So 60-day, 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 out for the year, out for the year. My pitching staff was my biggest strength on this team. Now it's Dane Dunning, Tyler Glasnow, Sean Manaea, James Paxton, Tanner Houck, Dylan Cease, Eric Fetty, Lance Lynn, AJ Puck. That pitching staff is awful. Awful. But as for, how the rest of Major League Baseball has been going, the Mets have taken 3 consecutive series. They have taken 2 out of 3 from the Reds, the Braves, and now the Royals. So they're not 500 yet, but they are 7-8, so not all that far off. 7-3 in their last 10, so they are doing pretty darn well in their last 10 games. But yeah, looking around Major League Baseball, you saw Jackson Holliday get called up, make his debut. He finally got his first hit the other day, so good for him. Happy to see it. One of the guys we've talked about ad nauseum, Wyatt Langford. Currently hitting .267, no home runs yet. 7 runs scored, 8 RBI, OBP of .338. So his not really striking out all that much either. So his plate discipline has been good. Now, the one strikeout that you might have seen was I think it was ahead in the count 2-0. Angel Hernandez behind the plate. Calls 3 consecutive pitches, more than 3 or 4 inches off the plate. The last pitch being 6 inches off the plate. Called them all strikes. And Wyatt got sent down without a chance. Yeah. Angel Hernandez has been in the news as you all know, by far the worst umpire in baseball. Problem is, the Umpires Association are a union. Mm-hmm. He'll never be fired unless it becomes, unless it becomes egregious, but it got egregious years ago. He wanted to know why he didn't become a crew chief. Well, Angel, this is why. You are, by a landslide, the worst umpire in the history of baseball. What are you still doing here? you'd think the man could at least have some self-esteem to say, you know what, I'm pretty damn bad at this. I'm just gonna quit, and everybody would be thrilled. We'd be thanking him for it. Retire already, dude. You're awful. Sorry, I just had to get that off my chest a little bit.
Well, hit a
but
quick.
Anybody who knows baseball knows how bad Angel Hernandez is.
Hit
Awful.
Hit a quick thing, and yeah, no, Angel's it's not been great. The Jets, we're gonna hit that quick. Jets and Jaguars in these last couple minutes. I'll do my Jaguars first here. I'll let you all know. Defensive line, offensive line, defensive line, offensive line, defensive line, offensive line. If they draft a tight end, I'm going to lose my mind. If they draft a running back, it's going to be funny, but also aggravating. I don't want to, no running backs, no quarterbacks, no tight ends, no linebackers, unless you want to build even more depth. The focus, offensive, defensive line, some secondary, maybe a wide receiver. That's all I want the Jaguars to do. That is their job. Offensive
Probably
and
could use to go
defensive
wide
line.
receiver now losing what's his name?
Ridley.
Wait, didn't they sign Gabe Davis though?
They got Gabe Davis, they got Christian Kirk,
All right.
they got Zay Jones, and they got Devin Duvernay to return stuff.
All right, so Gabe Davis kind of replaces Calvin Ridley.
But
They don't have to go receiver, but it wouldn't be a bad idea.
No, but defensive line, offensive line. You want to work in a wide receiver, you want to work in a corner, fine. Defensive line, offensive line. I cannot stress this enough. If you want to win a championship, defensive line, offensive line. If you draft a tight end, I will walk to Jacksonville and we will have words. So,
What if that tight end is Brock Bowers?
they don't need him. They don't, and that would have to be a first round.
I
pick.
know you got to have an Ingram.
It would have to be a first round pick. It would have to be the first round. It would have to be 17 overall. And no, I like Brown.
And Bowers isn't going to make it that far.
I've liked Bowers.
He will not. He will not make it down that far.
I've liked him for years now. I would be ecstatic if he was a Jaguar, but they don't need it. Shout out to my guy Evan Engram. I said when he came into the league that I thought he'd be something special, and then he dipped off, and people might have thought I was crazy, and now we got a 1,000-yard tight end. Man's a beast. He believes in God. He has a strong faith. I love my conversations with him more than I even love the way he plays. So to Evan Engram, you already know, easy Engram, do your thing, bro, and excited to see you this year. Thoughts on the Jets?
There have been rumors swirling about what they're going to do at 10. They might trade up. They might trade down. They might make the pick. I don't know what the hell they're going to do. A couple of weeks ago, it was mocked that they were going to trade up to 5 and take Marvin Harrison Jr., which pairing Marvin and Garrett Wilson together would be awesome. It'd be unreal.
They need their quarterback to actually play football, though.
Well, yeah, that's true. A couple of weeks ago, before free agency started, yes, we all thought they were going to go offensive line at 10 no matter what. But now, having drafted or having filled all those holes on the offensive line through free agency, they don't necessarily have to go offensive line. Yeah. Now, they can.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think that would be a bad idea. I wouldn't hate it. But they do need another receiver. Now, this receiving class is deep. There's a lot of guys you can get in round 2. But what I would like to see them do, because there's been rumors about Brock Bowers as well. If he falls to 10, that the Jets should take him. And if he does, and all 3 receivers are gone, Dunze, Neighbors, and Marvin are all gone, I think it would make sense to take him at 10. Now, if Joe Alt is on the board, the tackle from Notre Dame, I would probably take Joe Alt over Brock Bowers. But that wouldn't be a bad pick to take Brock Bowers. However, the Jets do not have a second-round pick.
Yeah.
I think it would make all the sense in the world for them to move down probably 4 to 5 spots if they can and try and recoup a second-round pick. Basically, move back as far as you have to recoup a second. Because there's one guy in the second round, and call me a Florida homer all you want, but Ricky Pearsall has got elite hands. He's big, He can go up and get the deep ball. He can go out and catch balls better than Odell Beckham Jr. one-handed. If you've never seen that catch in the, I don't remember who out there. It was a FCS school, I think. But if you have not seen that catch, that one-handed catch by Ricky Pearsall, go back and look it up. It was the greatest catch that I have ever seen a football player make. Unreal in the middle of the field. And he got clocked, too. So, my idea would be to move back. Ideally, if you can stay in the top 15, I would. If you can't recoup a second-round pick, all right, maybe not. But you want to be able to recoup a second. If you can get back to 15, 16 and recoup a second, I would do it all day. So do that. Get yourself a second-round pick. Because you could still address the offensive line in the second round if you need to. Or in the third round. But receivers are going to be there. This is a deep receiver class. You can get a receiver anywhere. I mean, remember the draft where it was 2020. Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs, Jalen Reagor, Justin Jefferson. He was the 5th receiver taken. And yet he's the best wide receiver in the NFL. I am, if you find the right guy, because you don't need a number 1 receiver. You've got one. Yeah. You have Garrett Wilson. You just need someone to complement Garrett Wilson. Corey Davis is coming back from retirement. What he's going to be able to do, who knows? But he's coming back. You've still got Alan Lazard, who Aaron Rodgers loves. Proved last year that he wasn't great. So if he can be your number 4 receiver, awesome. Because you don't have to worry about him doing anything special. I would love it if they ended up trading down, and I don't know what they're going to do, but for the love of God, no more edge rushers. Please, for the love of God. We've got enough.
We need one.
We just traded for Hassan Reddick.
We can go get Jared Verse.
We've got Jermaine Johnson. We've got Will McDonald. Enough. No more edge rushers, please. No more into. Well, you can maybe do something at nose tackle to complement Quinnen, but maybe somebody in the secondary. But I wouldn't do that in the first round. But I think the picks either got to be offensive line, wide receiver, or tight end. Would be what I'd want to do, and I'd be okay with any of them. If Brock Bowers slips to 10, and you don't want to trade back because he's there, I'm in.
Yeah,
take him. Because then you've got an elite tight end that is not your number 1 option. Remember, the problem with Kyle Pitts when he was drafted by the Falcons, he was their number 1 target. Yeah, double and triple team every game.
Yeah.
That's why he hasn't done well. Brock Bowers is a more complete tight end than what Kyle Pitts was. Kyle Pitts was not the best blocking tight end. Kyle Pitts was a massive body that could go up and get anything, could run routes like a wide receiver, but played tight end. Brock Bowers is the best of both worlds. He's got the blocking ability of a guy like Tony Gonzalez with the receiving ability of Rob Gronkowski. This guy is the most complete tight end we have ever seen in the draft. If you can get him at 10, I'm in.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is like it's the tight ends that can have such an effect to be your number 1 receiver. That was the thought with Kyle Pitts. I think that was the thought with Evan Engram. It's the thought with Brock Bowers now. It's the guy that you think can step in and be your guy, be the guy that's not just a good tight end on the team, but a guy that can carry the load when need be, can be that guy to be the one to lead your offense. There's a short list of tight ends that can do that. And that list sometimes gets shorter by the year. And, I think looking at last year, like we could argue 4 or 5 good tight ends. There's 32 teams in the NFL. And Brock Bowers, I wanted him last year, and I mean, I'm looking at him last year going like, he's ready last year. And then you see him this year. I mean, Brock Bowers is one of those guys that could be a game changer. I mean, when I think about the Jaguars' glory days, I don't think about just Fred Taylor and Tony Baselli and Marcus Stroud and Mark Brunell and Jimmy Smith and Keenan McCardell. I think about Kyle Brady too. And I think about what Kyle Brady meant to that team. I do.
Oh God.
I do think
Sorry,
about
I had to give it's nothing to do with Kyle Brady and the Jags. It has to do with the Jets took Kyle Brady over Warren Sapp.
Yeah. No, I know. And yeah, I mean but
the Jets are known for making awful
well,
awful draft
the
selections.
Jaguars, I wrote a story when I was in Pittsburgh for the AFC Championship or the AFC divisional round in 2018. And I wrote a story about the admission that the Jaguars had drafted wrong for years. And I did research that like the 43 guys that had been drafted over a 6-year span, none of them were on the team. Except for like AJ Cann or something like that. And
Quinnen Williams is the first Jets first-round pick to get a second contract in 6 or 7 years.
But that was the thing. I'm like, look at the team that made it a decade in between to the playoffs. Nothing within a decade. Look at this team that made it to that game in Pittsburgh, and look at their history of drafting. 6 rounds, 43 guys, I think it was, 41, 43 guys. None of them were on the team. None of them. Didn't matter what round they were picked, none of them were on the team. Which was an admission that they had drafted wrong for more than half a decade at least, and none of those guys helped them get to the door of the Super Bowl. And in the last 3-4 years, it's been different. And the Jaguars have made some good picks. And the Jaguars they've made some smart moves. And so now I'm going toward hopefully a 6 years where this does make sense. The thing with the Jaguars now is they had a window of the Texans not being good. That window is shut. It's locked. The doors are locked. Do I think that bringing in Stephon Diggs is good for the Texans talent-wise? Yes. Do I think that bringing in Stephon Diggs could be a bomb that you bring in to implode your house? That's also a thing. I think that Stephon Diggs is a ticking time bomb. I think the Bills eating $31 million, losing 2 picks, and not gaining any draft capital for this year is a sign that they had enough.
It says a lot about Stephon Diggs' character.
Right. And I don't think the Texans need him. I mean, the Texans have Nico Collins. They have Joe Mixon now. They have C.J. Stroud, the offensive rookie of the year. They have Will Anderson Jr., the defensive rookie of the year, and for the whole league. They have a coach in D'Amico Ryans that I'm excited to see what he's going to do in year 2. And then beyond that, you're like, okay, you have other pieces to this game that, I mean, you have a guy drafted or that I covered in college, Tank Dell. I don't think that this Houston Texans franchise needed Stephon Diggs. I liken it to picking up Plaxico Burress or Antonio Brown after some antics and moments. I am not a fan of it. I think that it's going to be detrimental to the team. And I think it's essentially trying to blow your team up from the inside out. I don't think it was a good decision. I don't think that it's a healthy decision. Maybe for a year it'll be good, but I would maybe test it and then let it go. Let Stephon go after this year and let him go somewhere else. But this is something that the Bills should have acted on sooner. They should have been smarter about. They could have gotten more for him. They could have made trades. They could have made moves. They could have listened and heeded any call that I had for Michael Pittman or Mike Evans or Calvin Ridley or T. Higgins and so on and so forth. I'm frustrated with what the Bills did. I'm frustrated for their fans. And I think that on paper, it makes the Texans look almost unstoppable. I think Stephon Diggs brings more with him than just talent.
Completely agree with that, but the baggage, it's like Gary Sheffield back in the day. The talent, unlike almost anybody else in the league,
Yeah.
but he was a cancer in the locker room.
Jalen Ramsey, I lived that. I saw it for 3 years, and I told people I want 2 first-round picks. I was told by somebody that it would never happen. Then they got 2 first-round picks. And
Jamal Adams.
I slept a little bit
Same
sweeter
thing.
that night.
Same thing with Jamal Adams. They got 2 first-round picks for him.
And I want to
You know
shout
those.
out.
You know who one of those 2 first-round picks turned into? Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
You know who the other one turned into? Elijah Vera Tucker.
Yeah, I want
Safe
to,
to say they did okay.
and I want to put this out here for Trey Herndon. Re-sign him, Jacksonville. When Jalen was traded, and Trey had to step up, he did things in games that made you forget that Jalen wasn't there at times. And he's one of the old heads in the locker room. He's one of the veterans. He costs almost nothing. And the same thing with Tyler Shatley. There have been few guys that in recent history have given to the Jaguars the way that they have and been starters, been backups, done their role, not caused any problems from what I could see or be around. Professional, hardworking, humble, team first. Re-sign Tyler Shatley, let him retire a Jaguar, and do the same thing for Trey Herndon. If you could spend the amount of money you spend on other players, you can spend a couple $1 million to wrap up 2 guys that have been there for you at times where you've needed them. You've told them they're not starters, and then when they had to be, they filled in for the guys you put in front of them. So I'm a proponent for Herndon, and I'm a proponent for Shatley, and I'm going to continue to be. And I got a lot of respect for those guys. I think that Jacksonville has to make the playoffs this year in order for the Doug Peterson project to continue. And I think Jacksonville has to start off strong in the first few games. And within 4 to 8 games, if Press Taylor's not calling that offense right, I wouldn't be surprised if he was relieved of his duties and Doug took over. So, and that's not me wishing bad. I never wish for somebody to lose their job, ever. I made a suggestion earlier in the show that people that do bad things to people should not do that job. And that the cop that pulled me over should give his badge in if he hasn't already. But I am not wishing that Press doesn't have a job. I am suggesting that Jacksonville pays attention to the bouncing ball. And I'm not overly moved by our offense last year. And if I feel that way 4 games in, I'm going to be very hard-pressed to sit there and just be like, yeah, that's fine. Keep doing what you're doing. And let's hope that the definition of insanity changes after it never has. So, offensive and defensive line, Jacksonville. Wide receiver, I wouldn't hate it. Let's see who's there at 17. The next pick is at 48. The Jaguars were awarded the highest compensatory pick of any one of the 34 picks awarded in the draft this year, and it's number 96 overall, and it's in the 3rd round. So that's awesome. And then they got 2 picks in the 4th round. They have no picks in the 6th. So they got 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 7th, I think is how it breaks down. So we'll see what they do here. I did my mock draft. I'm going to continue to do that. And then we're also going to be at Pizza Man on Thursday, April 25th at 6 p.m., 2 hours before the draft starts, where Al Romano and I will be doing what we have done, and we're going to mock draft the entire first round, give you all of our picks 1 through 32, and then we're going to sit with you at Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville and see how we did. So come and celebrate with us, grab a drink, as always drink responsibly, get some awesome pizza and wings, and see what Al and I see and hear what we have to say. And we always have a good time, and it's always funny, and I'm always trying to keep Al on the rails, but it's always off the rails with Al. So we have a good time with the Pittsburgh Panther national champion who won a championship with Tony Dorsett. Any final words, Murph?
Not really, other than also want to, as far as I'm aware, it hasn't happened yet, but also want to give a special shout out to Scotty Scheffler and his wife, who are expecting their first child any day now.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool. Obviously he can get to have his wife there with him at the Masters, but that's a pretty darn cool thing that you're going to get your second major championship and, be a dad here in short order. So early congratulations to Scotty and his wife.
Yeah. Shout out. Healthy, happy baby. Healthy, happy family. May everybody be awesome. I pray for you all. And I send you all my love to my hometown of Syracuse, New York. I will be out in the streets differently today. I love you all dearly. I pray for everybody. And you're going to get my best every day. So thank you, Murph. I hope you have a wonderful day. And I appreciate you as always.
Yes, sir.
Coming from Murph here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life. We appreciate you for being here, and we spent some extra time with you today, which I'm totally fine with. I want to thank you all for watching and listening and implore you all to watch and listen Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time on YouTube.com and Facebook.com, both /WakeUpCallDT. And on wakeupcalldt.podbean.com, where you can listen to internet streaming radio worldwide. Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Player FM, Podbean, Podchaser.com, Podvine, Spotify, TuneIn, and YouTube. Search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on any one of these channels, and you will be able to connect with us. That's Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. Make sure when you find us on any one of these podcasting platforms, as well as anywhere else we may be, to subscribe to us so you can connect with us at all times and you won't miss a live broadcast, or you won't miss a recorded broadcast or anything going on. In the case of YouTube, you won't miss a live broadcast. So make sure that you subscribe, follow, and do all the good stuff to connect with us on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets life. Big time thanks to all of our partners. You can visit our incredible partners of Central and Upstate New York at Carvel, DeWitt, the Wildcat Sports Pub, Mon Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, GG Cards and Breaks, Avicoli's, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay, Canine Campground Dog Boarding, Pizza Man, Great Lakes Honda City, and Mother's Cupboard. And of course, we are the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of your Lemoyne College Dolphins. It's Fins Up every single month on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. You will find the Dolphins on AD and DT the first and third Wednesday of each month, featuring Athletics Director Bob Beretta and myself, Dan Tortora, with exclusive news and behind-the-scenes look at Lemoyne College. The Dolphin Dive comes to you the second and fourth Wednesday of each month at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, with student-athletes, coaches, administration, future Dolphins, and alumni. Do not miss a second of all of our coverage with the Lemoyne College Dolphins by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe and the notification bell. Look at the Lemoyne Dolphins playlist that's there, that's constantly growing with all of the specials that we do with Lemoyne College. And of course, you can also find them on wakeupcalldt.com's homepage and on the underneath the exclusive partners tab on wakeupcalldt.com. For more information, go to lemoynedolphins.com, and as always, fins up. The Bryan and Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse are exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Find your Bobcats every single month where sports meets life here on Wake Up Call, with student athletes, coaches, and administration coming to you all throughout the year exclusively on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Cannot thank the Bobcats enough for all of their love and support and all the great work that they do in their campuses on James Street in Syracuse and right off of 57 in Liverpool. You will find our specials with the Bobcat Buzz by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe and the notification bell. And of course, You will also find their BSC Syracuse playlist on our YouTube channel. You'll find them on wakeupcalldt.com's homepage and underneath the exclusive partners tab. For more information, go to syracuse.bscbobcats.com and go Bobcats. The Binghamton University Bearcats are exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. You will find your Bearcats during Bearcat Time, Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, featuring Binghamton University all throughout the year in the specials that we call Moments with Marshall, which features the Binghamton University Athletics Director, Gene Marshall, in a behind-the-scenes exclusive opportunity to take a look at Binghamton University on all of the news that they have going on at that time of the conversation. Once again, Moments with Marshall featuring Gene Marshall once a month on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and the Bearcat Break Room, which will come to you all of the other Tuesdays each month, featuring student athletes, coaches, and administration in the Binghamton University Bearcat realm of all of their athletic programs that we cover throughout the year. You will find all of this by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt, click subscribe and the notification bell. You'll find the Binghamton University playlist, and of course you'll also find the Binghamton Bearcats on wakeupcalldt.com's homepage and underneath the exclusive partners tab. For more information, go to bubearcats.com and go Bearcats. With that being said, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, I want to thank Murph, as always, for joining me on a Monday. I want to thank you for joining me to watch and listen around the world. Facebook at Wake Up Call DT, X at Call DT, Instagram at Wake Up Call _DT. Final note, folks. I always tell you, God bless, no stress, do your best. And I want to say God bless all of those that protect us and do it the right way. I want to say no stress, God willing, to the families and to those that protect us. And do your best to everybody that protects us and is there for us and helps us, and to all the families that are dealing with anything right now, including loss. Media, be honest. Stop sensationalizing things and stop dividing us. Community, respect your officers. Officers, respect the people you protect. And may God look kindly on all of our souls today. I pray for you, Syracuse. I pray for everybody everywhere. Let's be the best we can. Let's love each other. And let's honor those that every single day put on their shoes and shirts and pants a little bit different. Because their job every day is to make sure that we get home safe. May we start making sure that they do too. God bless y'all. Have a great day.